Chris Gore got the knowledge in store. Oh yeah, Alan Ng, watch him chop up a fire. Movie and TV show reviews that you need. Film threads on fire, we're planting the seeds. Film thread, we keep it real. Dive into the stories, you know the deal. Turn the phone, it's the place to be. Movie lovers gather round. 1, 2, 3. From blockbusters to indie gold. Oh yeah, Chris and Alan break the mold. Pop your corn, turn down the lights. Get ready to groove through movie nights. Film thread, we keep it real. Dive into the stories, you know the deal. Turn the phone, it's the place to be. Movie lovers gather round. 1, 2, 3. Grab your popcorn, sit right down. Film threads, the hottest show in town. Yeah. Laughs, chills, and deep debates. Chris and Alan, let's celebrate. Woo!
Oh God, what is going on here? This is crazy.
I'm really busy at the moment with Dr. Doom, but I'll say it. Alan.
You're here.
RDJ, my bud.
That's right.
My pal.
That's right. He was here. How's it going? I'm tired. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little tired. Last night, we were at the AAPI
Celebration of Film and Television, sponsored by the Critics' Choice Association. I got there just as it started, and I couldn't find you in the theater at all.
Yes, because I went somewhere else. I went to the Ross House, where there was an event related to Inside Out 2 at our members only. You can see a video of Amy Poehler. She gives a very heartfelt speech.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in the room watching it, filming it, and she mentions Tony Hale. I turn around, he's right next to me. So it was very fun. So
you left the celebration celebrating Asian Americans and went to a party full of white people. That's it.
It was the best white people party. It was so fun. And
I'll admit it, white people throw great parties.
Well, there you are. I'm glad we can. I did come back
Yeah.
to see you for dessert and drinks.
Yeah.
And
so very bad Asian desserts.
The food was, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right. All right. I mean, what are we complaining about? I just feel so lucky we get to do stuff like that.
That's true.
It's fun. It's fun. Tonight, I'm seeing Piece by Piece, the Lego movie with Pharrell Williams. The documentary made with Legos. But today we're talking, we have a big show today. Let me tell you what we've got going on, Alan, as you queue up our first news story. Tell me what to go to first, but let me tell everyone here today on the show, I'll be talking about the first 4 episodes of Dune Prophecy. That's at 2:00, top of the hour. So an hour from now. Between now and then, we got tons of news stories. So we'll be reviewing Dune Prophecy in the middle of the show. And special guest today, Jeremy Piven, will be on the show at the end of the show for an interview. He'll talk to us about his film, The Performance. He is the producer, and his sister directed, and he stars in this movie. It's about a tap dancer who becomes famous and gets invited, who's also happens to be Jewish, who gets invited to perform for
Donald Trump.
You guessed it. No. Well, yeah. You'll see. We'll talk about it at the end. Stick around, Jeremy. I want to ask him about Ari Gold. I want him to yell at us as in character as Ari Gold. I want to ask him if he would be willing to do that. So he'll be here at the end of the show. In an hour, we're talking Dune, but between now and then, we got stories. We got Sydney Sweeney. We got the Alien TV show coming. We've got, what are we starting with, Alan? We have a lot. Let's say hi to people. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody.
By the way, this just came across, but Disney settled its pay discrimination lawsuit. So if you want to talk about it, we could. But
well, okay. Do you have it queued up with a
I do have it
banner
queued up.
in the story? Let's
you have it queued up. I don't have a banner for it, but
all right. Well, let's
really say hello to people.
Let me say hello to people while you get things set. Okay. Andrea Susie says, does this series okay? I will answer that. I'm gonna save all Dune prophecy questions for later. So there you go. Brock Samsonite, hello, all you beautiful people. John Manling, IGN gave okay. I'm gonna save that one. I'm gonna save that. Yeah, Sydney Sweeney. In the universe, is the universe healing itself?
Wait till you see this news story.
And I don't know about it. I've been busy. Jay Nemo, Sydney Sweeney, we're all at attention. Okay, yeah. Sydney Sweeney. We will discuss her. And there we go. And remember, Lord Thoth, like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Sign up as a member. Look at our exclusive member videos. Join us on X, Discord, Rumble, and Instagram. And buy our merch at shop.filmthreat.com. We have our holiday merch in the store right now. You can get the Film Threat Before Christmas, other shirts. We've got the Drinker's Choice collection. We've got other movie-inspired logos. Plus, those are okay. Yes, holiday sweaters, mugs, and underwear. Then there you go. Go to shop.filmthreat.com for all your Film Threat needs.
I can't buy that sweatshirt.
What if I bought the one with your face? You bought the one with my face, and we wore it. How about that?
Yeah, let's do that. That's our Christmas.
Our Christmas gift to you is I'm gonna get the Alan sweatshirt. So we will save all Dune prophecy comments for when we discuss it. We want to make sure everybody is here, but we got news stories.
Yes. All right, let's do the Disney one first. That's the big one.
Here we go. Alan, Disney settles pay equity lawsuit. If you would bring up the story, tell us all about it.
Okay. The company faced a class of roughly 9,000 workers who leveled the accusation of pay discrimination. This is from Hollywood Reporter Winston Cho. Disney has settled a class action lawsuit accusing it of rampant pay discrimination. Both sides have informed the court of an agreement to resolve the case. The parties have reached a tentative agreement and are currently working to finalize the terms in the form of a written settlement agreement, lawyers for the plaintiffs and Disney wrote in a joint statement. Let's see. The lawsuit filed the lawsuit filed in 2019 revolves around roughly 9,000 workers suing Disney for discrimination against female workers who say they are being paid less than their male counterparts for substantially similar work. It was brought by LaRonda Rasmussen, a longtime product development manager at Walt Disney Studios, and Karen Moore, who spent over 2 decades as a senior copyright administrator for Disney's Hollywood Records. At the time, Disney denied allegations of pay bias across numerous corporate divisions in a class action seeking up to $300 million. The long-running case cleared a hurdle last year when the judge certified a diverse class of employees who work across the company's movie production arm, record label, theme park, and home distribution subsidiaries, among various other units including broadcast and research and development. It's believed to be one of the largest classes ever suing under an Equal Pay Claim Act. The group comprises women employed at Disney between April 2015 and 3 months before the trial, which is scheduled to start in May. Here's the important statement. Discovery has unearthed documents challenging arguments from Disney that it equitably pays men and women and men. Nancy Dolan, manager of creative music marketing, was denied a promotion to director over the objection of her supervisor, President Mitchell Lieb, who said in an email that she was worth her weight in gold, according to the collection of 200 court records unsealed in the case. He urged higher ups to reconsider the decision. In an email, Vice President of Compensation, Nishan Bacon, in 2020 acknowledged a pay equity nightmare. Both sides didn't immediately respond to the comment. But Discovery unearthed documents challenging arguments from Disney. That's the power of letting things loose and making things public.
Well, I'll say this. I think this is how the Gina Carano thing will play out. They're going to try to settle with her. Whether Gina takes it, we'll see. But I think I do not think that Disney wants any of these suits to go to court.
Yeah. Well,
so
I mean,
what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, this is the key of course of events here. I know Disney wants to settle, but I think this is where Gina wants to be in terms of the discovery. She wants to be able to go into all the emails about conversations about her and her future at Lucasfilm and in the Star Wars franchise, make those public, and then from there decide if she wants to sell or not. But I think it feels like her cause is more noble than money. And it's more of exposing the bias that Hollywood has against certain political viewpoints, specific political viewpoints of half the nation.
Yeah, I think because people still are running with this narrative about her that she said things she didn't say or was taken. They don't understand. They don't understand it. So I hope that Gina feels vindicated, that there is an admission of some liability or guilt on their part, that all the documents that get exposed will exonerate her and expose the hypocrisy, the blatant hypocrisy. And if she chooses to settle, as long as she wins in the court of public opinion, that's a win. A win is a win. And I think that you don't exactly hear about these things going very far. You know, the tendency is to settle rather than go to court. So,
yeah. I mean, I can't see it ending where Disney just signs over a check to her and then everyone goes on their merry way. I think there has to be either winning in court or a public admission from Disney that they did her wrong.
An apology.
Yep.
At the very least. Let's go to your chat comments and questions related to this news story. Let's see, starting with the super here.
Yeah, that's for Dune.
Oh, for later. Okay, we'll get. I will not forget these.
Okay, Ray Glendening. Does a trans woman get a pay cut at Disney? Yeah, does this affect all women? Jay Nemo, sounds like Disney is reaping what it's sown.
True.
Yeah, One Punch Man, Tolkien fan. I like to see Disney taking L's. Yep. Davina Duckworth, it's more about the principle than the money. I believe so.
Precisely. Let's go to that Sydney Sweeney story, Alan, because you were chomping at the bits.
Yes.
Okay, while you're looking for that, I had something I wanted to show Steph here. Hang on. Let's review something you haven't seen.
Okay.
We can do Magpie.
Sure.
Have you seen that, Alan?
I have not seen that.
You've not seen it?
I've been at
Alan. Let's review something you haven't seen.
Okay.
What was that? Who's trying? Hey, I would. All right.
You've been inged.
I was inged. On that one. Okay. Bring up this story if you would, Alan.
All right. All right.
All right. Wait.
We don't have to read the story. We just watch this this moving image of Sydney Sweeney.
Well, just
yeah, I know.
Tell me the gist of this.
Okay.
Sydney Sweeney says feminism is fake. What is she talking about?
Okay. So Sydney Sweeney did an extensive interview with Vanity Fair, and I believe it's for the upcoming season of Euphoria. But let's scroll down a bit past this really hot picture of her. And down here where This question was asked here. Do you want me to take this video?
Please, if you would, read it.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. This spring, so Vanity Fair asks, this spring your team fought back when a producer called your looks and talent into question. Anne Hathaway and Jennifer Lawrence have discussed the tendency to knock women performers down when they're at their professional peak. Why do you think that is? And here's what she answers. It's very disheartening to see women tear other women down, especially when women who are successful in other avenues of their industry see younger talent working really hard, hoping to achieve whatever dream that they might have. And then they're trying to bash and discredit any work that they've done. This entire industry, all the people say, women empowering other women. None of it's happening. None of it's happening. All of it is fake and a front for all other shit that they say behind everyone's back. I mean, there's so many studies and different opinions on the reasoning behind it. I've read that our entire lives we were raised, and it's a generational problem, to believe only one woman can be at the top. There's only one woman who can get the man. There's only one woman who can be, I don't know, anything. So then all the others feel like they have to fight each other or take that one woman down instead of being like, let's all lift each other up. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm just trying my best over here. Why am I getting attacked?
Yeah, people tend to go after Sydney Sweeney, who is not just a very beautiful, attractive actress, but a producer in her own right. Mm-hmm. She is a producer of several of her projects have gone through her production company. So we've reviewed them here. So I think she really is just leaning into what do the people want. I think she knows what her assets are, and she's using it to further her career. I applaud this. I think there's nothing, but I hear what she's saying about women being so competitive. They feel like they have to tear down other women. It's kind of sad, but I have yet to, I'm going to say something very controversial. I have yet to meet someone who calls themselves a feminist who has a sense of humor. I'm just going to say it. I really, it's unfortunate, but yeah, that is my observation. Make of that what you will. But I find the people who label themselves as hardcore feminists, which you don't have to be a woman only to call yourself a feminist. Many men do this these days for some reason. But I'll just say not a huge sense of humor. Yeah. It's weird. I'm very old school. You probably know from watching this. I'm very old school when it comes to certain things. But what are your thoughts, Alan?
Yeah, I'll go to the other point she made. It's the point where it's like women. There's one woman at the top. One woman as the best director, one woman as the best actress, whatever. And that it seems that rather than being two women at the top, or three women, or all the qualified women at the top, everyone's going after that one woman at the top, and that's where her frustration comes in. That she's making her way up the ranks. She's probably going to take down Jennifer Lawrence and Anne Hathaway's titles as these great actresses, and why can't there be room at the top for more Sydney Sweeney? And I'll be honest, it's for us in the minority status. This tends to be true, where you get jealous at the one guy at top, and so everyone at the bottom attacks that person, as opposed to just striving to become the best. Example I can give is sometimes, like right now at my improv theater, I'm the only Asian. And there's this idea that walks through my mind once in a while. Well, what if another one comes on board? How am I going to take them down so that I'm still the best top Asian? and I'll be quite frank, the white people don't act that way. But I get it. I mean, when she said that, I get it. I've gone through it, and it's like, no, I need to celebrate the success of people who the people who are just like me, the Asians, the minorities, and so I get her point. And so yeah, why we love Sydney Sweeney even more.
Yeah, she is very based in common sense. And I think if we've seen anything from like Justine Bateman, who We did that story last week. I've always loved Justine Bateman. I think she has great opinions on AI. She has great opinions on art.
Yeah.
I didn't know that she was so based, so to speak.
Well, I mean, it
So
surprised me that she recently went after basically declaring the woke experiment dead, and then all the flack she's taking for that. But it's quite obvious: go woke, go broke. And we're proving it over and over again, and yet people are calling her out for that, for calling out the obvious. And the other thing is, Sydney Sweeney loves cheese.
Well, there you go. I think that's a good point. All right, let's go to comments. And while you go to comments, I'm going to take a quick break.
Okay.
Here. So I'm going to, I'll be right back.
Yes.
I love breasts. Women look at other women's breasts. Gay men love breasts. One thing that could unite the world is breasts and cleavage. I really believe that. I truly believe in breasts.
All right. With that, Lord Thoth, I wouldn't kick her out of my bed for eating crackers. Yeah, damn right. Damn straight. ADL is 24. Put another coin in the Sydney Sweeney is right jar. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just reading, making sure this is from Joe Chapman for £5. Since the men got a Sweeney story, can I ask for a good Travis Fimmel in Dune? Or how good is... Okay, well, we'll actually get back to that. Let's see. Brock Samsung. Women are competitive, more competitive than men sometimes. Yeah, I wonder if that ever came to light recently, maybe. Ololi Ukui, in the Beetlejuice voice. Nice fucking charcuterie board. Hong Kong. Okay. And then finally, from Axel's Abode, rising tides lifts all boats. Don't attack other people's boats. Definitely. And look, all I can say is I'm glad I can keep you abreast of all Sydney Sweeney stories.
Why didn't you say that when you were doing the story? That was
I forgot because I'm trying to.
It's all good, man.
The joke was written and I forgot it. I got it. It's the gays.
You were saying?
Yes.
Cool. All right. Did we get through those?
Yes. One more. I'm sorry. Whoops. I think I just unclicked. Okay. And from Technique, Sydney Sweeney and Jenna Ortega are both based and beautiful.
Well, there you go. All right. We have so many news stories. We will get to all the Dune related comments when we get to that segment. More news. Okay. Here we go. What is this about?
Okay. Just speaking of women, okay, how am I not? Oh, there we go. All right, here we go.
Alan.
Yeah, I got it. Nicole Kidman. I want to work with Martin Scorsese if he does a film with women. So Nicole Kidman is subtly calling out Martin Scorsese for not making features that center on female characters. The Baby Girl actress and mega producer told Vanity Fair that she would love to work with Scorsese if the auteur does a film with women. While Scorsese is best known for his more male-centric ensemble features like Raging Bull, After Hours, and Goodfellas, the director has famously collaborated with iconic actresses like Sharon Stone, Lorraine Bracco, Juliette Lewis, and Margot Robbie for acclaimed performances, not to mention Ellen Burstyn winning Best Actress Academy Award for Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore. In 2019, Scorsese's The Irishman was criticized for only having Anna Paquin say 7 words on screen. Scorsese said at the time of the assumed lack of female characters in his film, if the story doesn't call for it, it's a waste of everyone's time. Let's see. She continued, I always wanted to work with Michael Haneke, and there's a whole slew of up-and-coming directors. There's so many. I always open to discovery of new people, and I find it really exciting when you go. Here's someone who's so experienced and has been working, but they've really now hit their stride. Oh, I can't read. Let's see. Yeah, so she just goes on about working with other people, but the whole point is she's calling out Martin Scorsese for not making movies about women.
Well, I guess he doesn't make them about women, but I've always felt that there were strong female characters in his movies, but they're not the center. Can people just make good films and not, have to check a box? Why is, first of all, I like Nicole Kidman. I always cheer when I see her at AMC theaters because the movie's about to start. But and I can't wait to see this movie. I'm seeing the movie with her this weekend, Baby Girl, which I'll tell you about next week. She doesn't need to. This is. I mean, this could also be a quote taken out of context, kind of to, get attention. They make more of this than what it is. But I just think that, Scorsese is interested in telling stories about bad men. Let's be honest. I mean, pretty much all the men in his films are not good people. Everything from Goodfellas, Taxi Driver. I mean, on and on. They're just Casino. He tells stories about evil men, but these films also equally feature strong female characters. So I don't know what she's doing. I feel like, do you remember that one quote when Elizabeth, what's her name? Was it Elizabeth Berkley or whatever? Like, not Berkley.
Is it the Handmaid's Tale Elizabeth, or is it which Elizabeth are you talking about?
I don't know. Yep. She said something. She was just berating Spielberg for not making movies about women, and then like people listed off. Anyways, long story. But yeah, no, this is just another, I don't know, blown out of proportion thing. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I'll be honest. I want to work with Martin Scorsese if he does a film with Asians. Look, a creative is a creative. They create based on their world experience. And, Martin Scorsese has a world experience. He's certainly made a lot of films based around it and just happens to not feature women prominently throughout most of it. But he tells great stories. And I just kind of, as much as, yes, she probably has a point in terms of it would be nice if he kind of balanced his stories with more women, but at the same time, you want to tell a story your way. You want to tell it authentic to you. And, maybe the work he's done is so great because that's what he's comfortable with. That's what he's used to. That's what his world is around. And to force him to do something he doesn't want to do or say, you need to make your next movie this, it to me is just another step in stifling the creative process.
Yeah. Sorry. Thank you, Solomon Thornton. It was Elizabeth Banks who was at an awards event and called out Spielberg. And then people shouted out, like, what about The Color Purple? Like, I just feel like, what are these filmmakers who have an identity supposed to do? A lot of them, they like certain themes. If you look at Martin Scorsese's work, his work is focused on evil men doing evil things, right? They are everything from, and you can call them misunderstood or evil. You look at his movies and these are dark characters doing evil things. Maybe Raging Bull even, I mean, like, and he examines those types of characters. That's what he's interested in as a filmmaker. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't like when these actors will call out directors based on their work. Certain directors' work have themes and threads that run throughout. It wouldn't be a Scorsese movie necessarily if he did something completely female focused. I don't know if he could do it. I'd rather see other directors tell those stories. So
let's force Martin Scorsese to tell a story he's not fully on board with, or that he's not comfortable with. And it gets back to, if you're a black director, well, you have to only make black movies If you're a female director, all your movies have to be female centric. It pigeonholes people creatively. It keeps them from ever branching out from beyond themselves. I mean, maybe the big challenge, maybe Scorsese wants to take that next big challenge and say, okay, I'm going to make a female-centric movie. But I'm pretty sure he has to find the right material. He has to tell a story that he feels he can tell effectively. Otherwise, it just becomes Martin Scorsese blows it, telling a female-centric story. And that's creatives just don't want to do that. Yeah, and so go ahead.
Yeah, I just think you can't make a director tell a story that doesn't interest them. And also, Scorsese, how many movies does he have left in him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Frankly.
Not many.
I mean, I last week with Juror number 2, I probably saw Clint Eastwood's last movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and certain directors gravitate towards certain themes, certain actors. I don't have a problem with that. Every director kind of has their own signature or vision. Let them be who they are. I think it's being blown out of proportion, but I'm a Scorsese fan or a Scorsese stan.
Look, I'll make the controversial statement. I don't think Martin Scorsese got the Native American story right in Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah.
And look, and I've been criticized because I said Echo was not a good representation of the Native American community. And I got criticism for saying, who am I to make a statement like that? That Echo did a disservice, if anything, to the Native American community. And I feel, again, the same thing about Killers of the Flower Moon. I think he did a good job with it. I don't know that he represented the Native American community as well as it should have been in that story.
Let's go to your comments here.
All right, Brock Samsonite. I really hope Scorsese responds by saying that he only casts good actresses in his movies. I mean, Lorraine Bracco was hardly a bad choice for good.
Yeah.
John Manling. What the fuck was Killers of the Flower Moon then? Jane Nemo, how not to work with Martin Scorsese to this? Yeah, I want to work with Martin Scorsese on my demands. Pyrene Dream, could you imagine a DEI mob movie? It would be a cross of Rent and West Side Story with feelings and best beatdowns or best downs. Box Office Brawlers for $4.99. I've been having trouble with YouTube exponentially lowering my video impressions. The content I make hasn't changed much from what's worked. Advice.
Alan?
Are you doing, how many videos are you doing? How many are you putting out there?
I think the way to succeed on YouTube is trial and error. I think consistency. We do 3 live streams a week, specials, a couple times a month, and we do clips. That's our channel. I think is once people learn that, they subscribe. I don't know about the views. You could try changing thumbnails, and I would go into YouTube Studio, the app on your phone, look at the advice they give you. They're trying to guide you to what they call best practices. So look up the best practices for your channel. I gotta say, I'm kind of tired. So my apologies, Box Office Brawler. We had too much fun last night.
Yeah. And I would say, and the last piece of advice I'd say is go woke.
Yeah, that works every time. Thanks you. Seriously, YouTube Studio, download the app, look at the advice. They give you advice every week. And a very generous super chat from Benjamin. Alan?
Yeah, for $19.99. Thank you. Martin Scorsese is going to spearhead a documentary series about Christian saints for Fox Nation. He has made Silence one of the best Christian movies ever. When Kidman repents and apologizes for Bewitched, she will be forgiven. Let's not also forget that Scorsese made Last Temptation of Christ, which I know people liked. For Wedge for 2, I heard Chris wears illegal cologne. I've heard that too. And Matthew Hammond, member for 8 months. Alan Ng, next top Asian.
He is the top Asian. You're the top Asian for me. So we got a couple more news stories. We will get to Dune here. Let's go. Not surprised about Rachel Zegler. We have seen celebrity meltdowns after the election, some not happy with the results. So some celebrities have taken to social media to basically give their thoughts on the results. And Rachel Zegler is no stranger. And Alan, if you would bring up a series of posts from Rachel here. Yeah. And I think what's sad about this here is this could really hurt Snow White. You think? This movie, the Snow White live action remake, scheduled to come out March of 2025. It'll be a big Disney release, has gone through a ton of changes. And I don't know how much, I think that I'm of the opinion that celebrities should be politically neutral, or if they take up any type of cause, what they do is it's something everyone can get behind. Like, fixing the environment or homeless problem or whatever, just hey, exercise, have a good diet. But if you put this up, Alan, her posts, let's
okay, so
scroll down. This is from her Instagram.
Yeah, this is from her Instagram, but the images come from Steph at My Nerdy Home. So
yeah, well, shout out to Steph. Okay. If you would read her post.
Okay, here we go. From Rachel Zegler, I find myself speechless in the midst of this. Another 4 years of hatred, leaning us toward a world I do not want to live in, leaning us toward a world that will be hard to raise my daughter in, leaning us toward a world that will force her to have a baby she doesn't want, a world that is fearful. I shouldn't be this shocked, but I am. I am heartbroken for my friends who awoke fear this morning. And I'm here with you to cry, to yell, to hug, to wax poetic on how the left continues to fail us, forging a new path forward. This loss should have not been. It certainly should not have been by so many votes. I echo Ethel Kane's statement more than ever. May Trump supporters and Trump voters and Trump himself never know peace.
Well, that's a message of unity. Continue, if you would.
There is also a deep sickness in this country that is shown in the sheer amounts of people who showed up for this man who threatens our democracy. It is terrifying, the number of people who stand behind what this man preaches. It is a foolish subscription to a false sense of security, of masculinity, of intelligence, of patriotism, and of humanity. There is no hope, no counsel in any of them. I could go on. I won't. I feel sad. You probably do too. Fuck this. And then she continues. Wow. And she continues.
Yeah, keep going.
Get off Elon's app, by the way. The fuck are you doing? They're eating you up on Twitter. They don't use that app for a reason. They helped get that man elected, and they're giving him the business. I was talking about finding catharsis in art. I don't care if you're going to pick a fight with me. It's been done before. Find something real to be mad at today. There's plenty to go around. And then lastly, that's all. Going on stage for Act 2 now, and need to get off my soapbox before I get too heated. Sending love to everybody who needs it today. May we all carry each other through the worst and hold these politicians accountable. Your Dem govs just got very important. They already were, but hey, follow your governors, hold them accountable. Local government is where the real change is. This is not the end ever. I will love through these 4 years as best I can. Fuck Donald Trump.
Well, I don't think that Donald will take her up on the offer. I don't think that there's going to be anything going on between them. Again, don't listen to celebrities. I mean, most of them, as has been pointed out, I think that celebrity endorsements were a non-factor in the election. And I think they would be better. They would better serve audiences by just being a shining example of acceptance, not sowing the seeds of division for the more than half the country that voted for Donald Trump, wherever you stand on it. So I think it's not smart for her career, but she's been, I don't know, she's been stepping in it for so long. It's not even surprising to me. So let's see how this affects Snow White when it comes out and the inevitable press tour. Alan, your thoughts, and we'll go to your comments.
Well, I think regarding Snow White, I don't think this is going to hurt or help. I think the quality of the movie will speak for itself.
Yes, it looks awful. It looks so awful.
I mean, I think the saddest thing for me is what she's is she 20 yet? 21? She's so young. And she's just bought into the echo chamber of her fellow theater kids and theater friends that it's sad to know that someone so young already holds this much hatred and inability to look at the world and the news in an objective way. And I like to think that maybe Gen Z is starting to come around, but stories like this proves that there's still a lot of work to do amongst the youth.
Yeah, I predict that movie will fail miserably. It will land on Disney Plus like faster than you can imagine. And it's really the fact that it's dragged on so long, the controversy with the dwarves, it's a mess. Mm-hmm. At this point, just dump it on Disney Plus. Don't even bother putting it in theaters.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Let's go to your comments here. Starting with Supers.
I'm just saying, I know what screenings can come out just days before the movie premieres, and that's Snow White. From William for 5. Can someone please check on DTJ? Donald, what? I'm missing that one there. I'm sure he wanted nothing more than the approval of the B-level actress. Who's DTJ?
I think they meant DJT. Yeah.
Oh, okay. John Nemo, member for 11 months. Rachel Zegler, proof the crazy eyes test is undefeated.
Yep. Thanks, J. Nemo.
Joe Chapman, people like Rachel put off Dems. Robot Docs, the daughter she doesn't have, by the way. Yeah. And notice it's specific. She wants a daughter.
It's Robot Dues.
Robot Dues, sorry. But she wants a daughter, which makes you wonder what she'll do with the male infants in her. Robert Thomas Watson, Ziegler has buried Snow White at least 6 foot under. Knee pain, and they said Gina Carano was the villain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, more news stories here. Let's talk Oscars. You have the story here, Alan.
Yeah.
How the Oscar race responds to Donald Trump. Here we go.
All right. From Honora to Wicked, Oscar movies are not staying quiet about issues raised by the incoming administration. For left-leaning Hollywood, the stakes of the Oscar race might seem moot in light of panic about Donald Trump's return to the office. Shake off the shock, though. You'll realize we've been here before. In 2017, the award season triumph reflected Hollywood's anti-Trump sentiment with a surprise Best Picture win for Moonlight coming just months after the shockwaves of the 2016 election. Because we all made that connection, by the way. That movie, a sensitive and stirring look at racial neglect and sexual repression in the light of toxic masculinity, embodied fragile progressive voices and also provided a sharp reminder of the potential victims at hand in a looming Trump administration. Barry Jenkins was not afraid to lean into the resistance vibe. In the midst of the Moonlight campaign of January 2017, days before the inauguration, he took a moment in his acceptance speech at the National Board Review to address the bigger picture. As we make America great again, let's remember some inconsiderable things in our legacy, because there was a time when someone like me was just not considered. The potential for change persists, Jenkins reminded, even in the face of the insurmountable. Oh God, I'm having a hard time here. This time around, there are gripping reminders of disenfranchisement at the core of a number of major Oscar contenders, with stories of resilience that point a path forward for the country despite seemingly daunting odds. The awards race won't save American democracy, but it just might inject the country's moviegoers with an invigorated sense of national priority. Much has been made about the recent convergence of entertainment and media, of young men who listen to Joe Rogan the way previous generations would read the New York Times. This year's Oscar contenders might not sway that crowd, but they too use entertainment to advocate for serious-minded change. Consider the most distinctive images at the heart of the current frontrunners. A Russian-American confronts a 1% on the tarmac. A closeted trans woman whisper raps her desire to come out. The Statue of Liberty hangs upside down as the fragile promise to jubilant immigrants. These striking moments are from Oscar contenders Honora, Emilia Perez, and The Brutalists, respectively. Wouldn't feel out of place in recent U.S. Democratic campaign. Mirroring the pulse of progressive America, they tackle issues of class disparity and oppression, blending dark ambiguity with the hope. Their Oscar bait with bite, and make the case for a deeper purpose to a season that all the red carpet pomp and empty virtue signaling. Oh dear God.
Okay, I don't know what's wrong. I'm actually just reading the article. But I'll just say, not surprised. It kind of affects things. But here's another story I'll bring up here, where just the subjects of the movies are turning people off. The 2025 Oscars are shaping up to be one weird, depressing night. This is from, we always like to say it's from the New York Post by Johnny Oleksinski from a few days ago. I've got voting on the brain. That's right. It's only 113 days till the Oscars. And this year, the race to the Academy Awards is starting to feel like a presidential election, frantic and down to the wire. Not only is there no obvious frontrunner for Best Picture yet, I've been saying that for months.
Yep.
Yet, with less than 2 months to go until the cutoff, but most average viewers would be hard-pressed to name a single contender. So many ads on this page. It's impossible to read. Whenever I mention Emilia Perez to smart, artsy fans, I get stares blanker than an 8.5 by 11. I adored Honora, which won the top prize at Cannes, but anytime I try to sell people on it, I start to empathize with encyclopedia salesmen. The 2025 Oscars are shaping up to be a night of 100 small movies most people will never watch. There's no bueno for the ceremony, which has seen its ratings cut in half over a cruel decade of cord cutting and disinterest. Too bad, because last year things were looking up with Oppenheimer and Barbie. Big hits, big stars, real emotional investment from movie fans. This award season, hobbled by the 2023 Hollywood strikes that delayed production and whole projects, is a total about face from that. Most pundits can barely agree on more than a few films that will be nominated. Honora, Conclave, Emilia Perez, Dune Part 2, and The Brutalist are pretty safe bets, but there are 5 more slots for some dumb reason. Consider that by November 3rd, 2023, we've already seen every eventual Best Picture nominee at either a festival or normal movie theater, and there was a general consensus. There was a general consensus on what would be honored. Everyone knew Oppenheimer, which grossed nearly $1 billion, would probably win. and it was becoming clear Barbie 1.4 billion would be in the mix. Late edition juggernauts are not uncommon. So it goes through the history of the Oscars.
Yeah.
I don't want to get through it, but yeah, there isn't one that anyone can agree on. That's the problem. I've had this discussion with you. I've had it with other members of the CCA, and there isn't like, people can't find a meme. Like, let me just show you something here sent to me by my friend Tyler Disney. Are we going to get glicked? That's the combo of Gladiator and Wicked.
I think it's Glicked. I want to say Glicked.
Are you going to Glicked? Are you going to see Gladiator 2 and Wicked? This doesn't roll. Barbenheimer was fun. That was fun. But Glicked, it's not going to happen. Tyler, you can say it all you want. It's not happening.
How about Wikiator 2?
I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. So I predict a record new low for the Oscars. I think Wicked will be the one movie people can all agree on. I'm not telling you it's a good movie. I'm saying when it comes to awards, Wicked will be a movie that everyone can agree on. And by everyone, I mean Oscar voters, critics, etc. So this will be, we're still going to do like an Oscar live stream. We're going to have fun. Alan and I will be up at 5 a.m. for the Oscar nominee announcements. We will make predictions. So we'll have fun with it no matter what, but it will shape up to be worst. It will be record ratings low. And there will be jokes about Donald Trump, which will turn off half the country. Not a smart move. And there will be no clear winner. And even winning an Oscar at this point is not any guarantee that the movie is either great or, look, how many times
box office juice?
I'll ask you one thing right now. How many times have you watched Moonlight since it won an Oscar?
0.
Exactly. And basically the Oscars have lost sight of what the average moviegoer likes. Look, if they were smart, Deadpool and Wolverine would be a nominee. I'm not saying it should win. I'm saying get more mainstream films in there. And if people have suggested Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds should host the Oscars, that would be phenomenal, but it is going to be horribly depressing, I predict. Final thoughts before you go to comments here.
Yeah, this is gonna be a tough year. We were at the CCA event yesterday. We were with our fellow critics, and we were just talking about this exact same thing. What is your favorite movie of the year? And no one could really say a movie was their favorite, a movie that they would champion. 3 movies came out: Wild Robot, Anora, and Wicked. That's it. And just not excited. The other thing is this upcoming Oscars is going to be horrible. So much so that Jimmy Kimmel might as well host it again because no one's going to watch it. No one's going to care. As much as I think they should nominate Deadpool and Wolverine, it doesn't have that kind of juice and excitement that Barbie had to make people want to watch the Academy Awards. I think it got a boost in viewership because they knew Ryan Gosling was going to sing "I'm Just Kid" on stage, and
it did help.
And nothing. And if I were Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, I'd skip this year and say do it next year, because this is not the year you want to be. You want to put yourself out there as the host of the Academy Awards. And look, quite frankly, of the movies I know that are coming out for the rest of the year that are awards contenders, Wicked is probably the only movie that has a good shot of being on that list. Everything else, I swear, all the movies I've been watching have been either meh or good, but nothing great. And as I was telling people yesterday, I don't have a movie right now that I am willing to champion as the best picture of the year. at this.
All right, let's go to your comments, and I'll be right back, Alan.
Yeah. Benjamin.
Excuse me, Alan. I'll be back again. Our interview subject will be here, but I need a break. Yeah. I can hear every comment.
Yeah,
I can hear.
You need an empty bladder to continue.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Bill W. Hey, they actually threw the New York Times under the bus. LOL. Yeah. Professor Fear. Well, it sounds like a lot of fun. I think the stream will be a lot of fun. And short of someone slapping someone, it's not going to be much fun at all. Snakes and Funerals for 2. Movies should be immersive, not instructive. Exactly. You don't pay to go. You don't buy a ticket to see a movie that you're going to get lectured at. Robert Thompson for Watson. Looks like Hollywood hasn't had enough of losing money. Yeah, I feel like the strike is playing a lot of this, that studios just been holding the mediocre films from last year over to this year in hopes that next year will be the rebound year. Jane Nemo for 5. Lord of the Rings Fellowship and Two Towers extended editions should requalify for Best Picture this year after the re-release. Well, unfortunately, those editions came out shortly after the original theatricals. Okay, William, music by John Williams will win an Oscar, so Kathleen Kennedy can finally retire with a win like she wants. I don't know. I think Super/Man is probably going to win it, but music by John Williams is right up there. Sure. Okay. Aaron T. Jr. 77 for 5. Hello, guys. I'm going to watch tonight Francis Coppola's Megalopolis. What did you guys think of it?
Well, there is a review on the channel, but I did not like it. I think it swung for the fences and missed badly. It's a mess. It is a mess.
Yeah.
So, and what are your thoughts?
I appreciate what he was going for, but I don't think he was able to accomplish it. I think he had interesting things to say, but the vehicle, this kind of Greek tragedy, performed like a Greek tragedy, just wasn't working.
And feel free to search the channel for the review. You'll see that Alan and I disagree.
Yeah. William for 2. The Razzies will be more fun than the Oscars. Yeah, Megalopolis. Speaking of Megalopolis,
I love the Razzies. Thank you, William.
Ben Johnson for 2. What about Origin? I loved Origin. You told me to see it. I wasn't thinking it was. I didn't think it was going to be very good. It was great.
Here's the thing: you need money to mount an Oscar campaign, and that movie barely got a release. They had to like raise money to release it. I don't think we'll see it in the Oscar mix, but it could be surprising. It's going to be it'll be a lot of movies you've never heard of. That will be this year's Oscars,
and I think that qualified last year. That's if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So it's ineligible this year. Bill W. 2025 Oscars equals Hollywood funeral. It'll be a depressing ceremony.
It will be. All right. It's time to pivot. We're going to pivot here, and we are going to talk about Dune. You can't even, you can see here. I'll show you. There are Dune sandworm pillows that are right there. What?
Yeah, but where's your popcorn bucket? Where's your
my popcorn bucket? My room is getting overtaken here. It's a little much. So, all right, let's pivot, folks. We'll pivot.
I wish everyone to have a very moist day.
Why would you say that?
I was on a roll.
All right. Dune Prophecy is the HBO Max series. There will be 6 episodes of this show. It, broadly speaking, it tells the story of the beginnings of the Bene Gesserit. It is in the timeline and the universe of the Denis Villeneuve Dune Part 1, Part 2, and soon to come Part 3. It is set 10,000 years in the future and 10,000 years previous to, so it's 10,000 years from our current timeline, but 10,000 years before the ascendancy of Paul Atreides. It focuses on Valia Harkonnen, played by Emily Watson, who we see in the present day timeline of the story. She is the head of the Bene Gesserit, and we do see her in flashbacks as a young woman. And what the focus is they're trying to manipulate the Emperor of the known universe, played by Mark Strong. I'm gonna there'll be some minor spoilers as I have to tell you parts of the story, but it'll be mostly spoiler free. I will give you the broad strokes, okay? But basically, the series opens on probably the coolest thing is in episode 1, the first 5 minutes, which gives you the setup, and it feels very consistent graphically, effects wise, and everything. It's very consistent with Denis Villeneuve. He designed it, and I feel what they tried to do is match the look, the effects, etc. It opens on, I mean, this is the opening scene. It's the Butlerian Jihad, which is the war against the machines. So what happened? Humanity created thinking machines. There is a giant war throughout the galaxy. The machines are defeated, and technology is banned throughout the Imperium. No one can use certain types of technology, thinking or intelligent technology. And we see a scene. I mean, I'll tell you about it. It's right out of Terminator. It's really sort of these the sort of like almost War of the Worlds like machines, and we see them defeated. It's actually one of the coolest, best action scenes of the 4 episodes, and like the only real big action set piece. After this, we cut a generation, about 100 years after that battle. We cut to the present, and we meet our players, Valia Harkonnen, Tula Harkonnen, the Emperor, played by Mark Strong, and a mysterious figure enters the picture. Travis Fimmel plays this character, Desmond Hart, who survived on Arrakis, being swallowed by a sandworm, or so he thinks. Because of the way they show it, I'm not actually sure if he was swallowed by a sandworm. Maybe he thinks he was, which has somehow imbued him with mysterious powers. Desmond Hart is kind of a cross between, at least the way he looks, like a Duncan Idaho meets Gurney Halleck. And if you're a Dune head, you know what I mean. A manly man. And he now is advising the Emperor. In the first episode, there is a tragic death that sets a course of events through the series. And I'll just say this. If I get anything more, this is the first. If I get into any more, it will be spoiler territory. The show aspires to be Game of Thrones in terms of its political machinations. And yes, there is sex and nudity. Characters go to clubs. It's an HBO show. What are you going to do? You will have to get naked. There will be a sex scene. So what it wants to be is Game of Thrones and falls far short. I'm sorry to say. While they set the chess pieces up for all this intrigue over the course of the 4 episodes I saw, quite frankly, I was kind of bored. So now I did watch them all at once, all in one sitting. I didn't watch it week to week. Desmond Hart is one of the most interesting characters, along with Mark Strong. And while it's consistent with the world building, the only real action events are the opening scene I described and the sandworm scene with Desmond Hart. I wanted to like this, and I will see it through. I'll watch all 6 episodes. But based on what I saw, lower your expectations. They introduce a lot of characters, and while Emily Watson as Valya Harkonnen is supposed to be the lead, it really feels like an ensemble piece with just not only weak storytelling, but weak characters. Not the hero's journey that, Dune, the original novel, was. And I gotta say, I'm really disappointed. And I'm a Dune fan. Look, you all know what a huge Dune fan I am. Dune Part 1 and Part 2 were phenomenal, but I really think and I'll say the science fiction aspect of this is all in the world building. Denis Villeneuve did them the favor of doing all the world building. He did the heavy lifting. That was all him. We kind of know how the universe functions, the spice, what it does, etc. In the 4 episodes I saw, no guild navigators, by the way, don't get your hopes up. But in the inner workings of the Bene Gesserit, I'll just say this, getting a lot of witch vibes. Now, is it as bad as like Acolyte or Agatha? No. This is maybe the best version of these witches we've seen, and by that doesn't mean it's great.
Do they make out at any time?
There is some of that.
Oh yes.
So it's now. Oh God. This is a very broad review, but honestly, this is a costume drama where in between you'll see a spaceship land, and it's very impressive. The production design. You see, the Emperor has this place where he has meetings, and everything looks opulent and expensive, but it's just transition scenes to what is basically like a Bridgerton costume drama, where so every sort of setting, so in between all of the drama is a spaceship lands here, someone walks down a rampway, and then they just have a boring acting scene. So I was so it was a slog to get through 4 episodes. Hey, only 2 to go. I'll watch it.
You're not selling it at all.
Honestly, if I got to rate this thing, I'm going 5 out of 10. The first episode, probably the best. It was promising because it set things up, but wow, did it drag. Even there's a scene where they go to a club in the Dune world, and it just seems very generic sci-fi. The weakness is, now look, the actors, Emily Watson is great.
Mark Strong is great.
Travis Fimmel is fantastic. Okay. But he's not really the lead. Mark Strong is great, not really the lead. It's ensemble by the time it gets to the 2nd episode. And honestly, it dragged and was boring. I mean, really, based on what I saw. Now, maybe it sticks the landing and leaves me wanting more. Great actors, great production design, interesting ideas, a really boring script. The script is the weakness. No clear. I mean, Valya Harkonnen kind of disappears. Then we get more of her backstory with her family, and that was interesting. So it's not like where I would just be, look, if I didn't have to talk about Acolyte, I would never have finished watching it. I'm interested enough to finish the show. Only 2 episodes. But it's really, unless you're a hardcore Dune fan, I don't think this is going to win people over. Denis Villeneuve did a much better job of making Dune palatable for normies. This is, at the end of the day, this is Dune fanfic. It's got Dune stuff. It does have worms. There is spice, and there are spaceships going places. but the story goes nowhere interesting. So for me, 5 out of 10, which is you decide. You can 5 out of 10 for me is not really a recommend. Only recommend if you're a hardcore Dune fan, which I am, so I will see it through. But yeah, it was disappointing to me. I wanted to like it more. It just didn't have. Again, Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones at its best had dramatic scenes where it was two people in a room talking, and the tension and the drama was like it never quite hit those heights it aspired to. So
did this need to be a Game of Thrones though? Or
well, I'll say this. Game of Thrones was heavily inspired by Dune. Mm-hmm. Great houses, fighting, rivalries, strong female characters and male characters, commerce, religion, politics, romance, like all of that is Dune, the books, I'm saying. The original books by Frank Herbert. So this is Brian Herbert. And I just don't, it doesn't have the weight that the Dune books have. And it's not.
So Brian Herbert wrote these books, or he wrote
that the books that this series is based on
were Brian Herbert's.
Correct.
Okay.
So this is not Frank. Okay. And but I did the first episode I kind of got sucked in. It's got you've got the Emperor, they've got Bene Gesserit advising them. You've got these school for women to develop their talents, which include the voice. The voice is something that Bene Gesserit can do to manipulate people into doing things. But yeah, in the end, as a hardcore Dune fan, I gotta say I was underwhelmed, wanted to like it, and look, I'll finish it, but I was expecting something else altogether. So it's weak. It's weak in my mind. So
you had
this is very broad. We will get into a deeper and spoiler filled review on Monday on Versus, but this is my impressions of 4 episodes in. I wanted to like it more. So it's premiering Sunday on HBO. So
well, you intrigued me with nudity and with real space lesbian witches. But I'm not I don't know. Do I need to see this? I mean, quite frankly, I'm not the Dune sycophant that everyone's becoming. I appreciate what Denis did with the current Dune, because I think it's probably the better of the Dunes that I've seen and more understandable. But I'm just not enthralled with this world, and I'm definitely not seeing what you see in the Dune series in any of the films ever made, and this is not helping at all either. Yeah, it just doesn't sound interesting to me at all. And if you're saying it's falling short of, because the thing is that this series should what it really should do is it should make the main movies feel, give it a lot more depth and give it a lot more understanding from its history, and it just sounds like it's not there. And I was
doing that review the whole time. I thought you would have done what I just did.
Yeah, you would have thought that, huh?
Yeah, that's why we prep for the show.
Yeah, there you go. Well, anyways, I'm not excited about this at all.
Well, we're not.
And I'm glad I finally get to see the poster. Thank you.
What we will do, I'll do after the finale, we'll just do a spoiler filled season review. But I saw 4 episodes, I wasn't blown away. Mm-hmm. And I was wanting to like it. So what does that tell you?
Yeah.
Let's go to your comments here. Let's go to your comments.
J Nemo for 499 for later. Does Dune Prophecy have more of Frank Herbert or Brian Herbert feel to it?
Brian, which is not a good thing.
We have yet to hear from Herbert. John Manalang, IGN gave Dune Prophecy a 5 out of 10, so it should be a great show.
I'm not gonna lie, the first 5 minutes I was impressed, but nothing really. And the fact that it kind of just ripped off Terminator was, I thought, lazy.
MK Solid. Chris will tell us if there's any hot sex in Dune Prophecy.
There is.
Is it good quality?
I mean, there's nudity, yeah, which I didn't expect. I mean, the books are not filled with sex. I mean, it happens. Believe me, there's an orgy, a spice orgy. So in the first book,
and the movies don't even get close to any kind of.
The movies are PG-13.
Yeah,
which is I'm fine with. I'm fine with that. But yeah.
Well, as you say, I wasn't expecting it, and I don't think I would have. Joe Chapman for 5. Since the men got Sweeney story, can you ask how good Travis Fimmel in Dune is? Is he hitting a Ragnar level?
He's really good. Might be one of the best things about the show. Hey, look who's here! Nerd cookies. Hey.
Not surprising to hear that it is boring. The source material is based on is also incredibly boring. LOL.
Well, I expect Nerd Cookies, Elaine, some lore videos from you. But yeah, it is at the end. Like I say, the first episode, I gave it the benefit of the doubt because there's something that happens, and we'll talk about it Monday. Monday will be full spoilers because everyone will have seen it.
Yeah, but it sounds like it honors the source material.
It does, which is not great.
Yeah.
I still loved. Look, I'll take. Fine. It's. I just would have rather seen. You know what I'd rather see? I'd rather see Denis Villeneuve do Dune Part 3, which is Dune Messiah, then do Children of Dune and God Emperor of Dune as an HBO shows. Seriously, not this Dune prophecy stuff. Actually continue the Denis Villeneuve timeline on television, because Children of Dune and God Emperor in particular need longer. I don't know that those are movies. They would be better as shows, maybe 1 season or 2 seasons each. So, yeah. Thanks, Nerd Cookies.
From Bumpy Johnson. Matching Denis Villeneuve sounds damn near impossible. I think he's one of the best working directors today, arguably the best of his age.
I should be clear. When I say matching, I mean matching in terms of look, production design, costume. Like, it's in universe. They were consistent.
Like, it comes out of the movies.
It doesn't mean as good as in terms of story. What I mean is that it looks consistent.
Yeah. It doesn't look like it was done on a soundstage. It looks like it was on the same set as Denis Villeneuve's Dune, basically. From West Ray, spoilers. It's Dune. You could explain every single story beat to me in detail, and I would still be confused. Yes.
No, it's. I'm not just. We get in our comments a lot like, you said no spoilers. It's like, well, I don't know what to say. What do you? I want to do a debate one day on Versus. What is considered a spoiler? I told you what happens generally in the first 5 minutes of the show. There is a battle of the Butlerian Jihad with giant machines, and there is a hero that comes from the battle, who ends up becoming like kind of the first sister of the Bene Gesserit. She's like the beginnings of that.
Okay. To West Ray,
I mean, like, what do you consider spoilers? So
okay, hold on. To West Ray's point, he's saying that you could spoil the entire show and it still would be confusing to everybody who doesn't know anything about Dune. That's what he means.
But see, like,
you're spoiling it, but it means nothing. That's what he.
Well, for example, the Dune book, like the book was out. The first book was out in 1965.
Right. No. So the point is, it's still confusing. You could spoil everything, and people still won't get it.
That's why I'm trying to do broad strokes, and then we'll talk spoilers Monday. But there's a lot I have problems with. We'll talk Monday.
Okay. Thomas Pickett, spoilers are like he was dead all along, or she was a man. Yeah.
The Crying Game.
Or yeah. Sorry, I was making the first point.
Don't be sorry for anything.
Pirating Dream, The Milk Has Turned.
Well, there you go.
And Box Office Brawler for $199. Shame my fave YouTubers aren't going to Grand Rapids Comic-Con.
Oh, that's all right. Hey, Gary from Nerdrotic will be there along with
he'll represent
Critical Drinker.
They'll both represent us. And then Dennis Wright for $4.99. I thought Alan had dyslexia. I might be wrong. Reading long articles on air isn't playing to a strength. Try a 50-inch monitor. Got to stick up for Alan. Yeah, you have no idea how hard that was.
Well, do you need a new monitor?
No, I need to not have dyslexia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dennis.
Razorberg, Chris, where's the birthday gift I gave you? Not displayed for the review.
It's in my pile of other Dune games, but thank you, Razorburn. I should have put it up there.
Was it the Dune game, right?
Dune board game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He talks about playing it a lot. Davina Duckwood, do they have mentats?
Mentats.
I think she means do the men have tattoos?
Do the men have tats? No, I mean, it's like this is the early where the universe changed. So the early, what I guess like Travis Fimmel kind of as his character is kind of a mentat in a sense, like a male Benny Gesserit in a way. Desmond Hart, he's kind of the most interesting character, and he's not the lead character. So, I mean, you'll see it's very consistent with Denis' world. Go ahead, Alan.
Okay, Sons and Shadows. Spoilers are something listing all the Deadpool and
someone.
Yes, sorry. Spoilers are someone listing all the Deadpool and Wolverine cameos at midnight on Wednesday before anyone can have a chance to see the movie.
Exactly.
And Andrea Susie says, does the series stick the Brian Herbert / Kevin J. Anderson stuff?
Yeah, it's based on that.
And I'm sure that
I can't tell you how close it sticks to it, but it is what it is.
You sound
sound what?
Disappointed with the series.
I am because I watched it all at once and I was like, oh, yeah, okay. I mean, it really was the story more than anything else. Everything else about it, costume, effects, acting. I mean, at every level, there's a craft, there's quality. The big weakness is the writing and story.
Yeah. And it probably got that right.
Yeah. If you could
source material. All right. The director, ADL is 24. Hey, AD. The director of Underworld, Blood War, made a boring Dune series. Shocking. Brock Sampson, I thought male Benny okay, we're forbidden. Benny Gesserit, right?
Yeah, they are. I'm just saying that's kind of what a mentat is, in a sense. I'm assuming knowledge of Dune, but yeah, this is, because it's like not everything. I really hope we do get guild navigators, but I feel like Denis wants to do that in Dune Part 3 because he kind of has to in Dune Part 3. The Spacing Guild are major characters, like characters, not just in the background. So,
I mean, do you think this Dune experiment is getting normies in? I feel like it's not.
No, normies are not. I feel like they like the movies because the movies are action packed. Mm-hmm. It's about a war, and this is about a war might happen.
Mm-hmm.
but
prelude to a war, basically.
Prelude to a war, but
this Butlerian jihad, is this something that had happened already, or is this what
in the Dune timeline? It is a major event.
Okay,
that would have been a better series. It would have been a better series.
And I still don't really understand the Butlerian jihad, and you don't need to explain to me, but
it's very simple.
Yeah,
it's
just a war on AI.
Humanity was almost wiped out by thinking machines. So there was a war to destroy them, and then throughout the galaxy, thinking machines, not machines.
Right, AI, basically.
Yes. So this is what's funny is how timely that is, but it's also very close to Terminator in terms of the story, right? Thinking machines almost wiped out humanity. So they were banned throughout the Imperium, so to speak.
Which had carried on thousands of years to where the movies are.
Right. Like we can't, because we almost became extinct. Lord Thoth. Here you go.
Yeah, Mentat is a human computer. And Snakes and Funerals had 0 for 2 lesbian space witches. Yeah, because Agatha would have just been plain space lesbian witches. This is space lesbian witches.
Yeah.
And from Mr. Tickle, from Mr. Tickletrunk, Butlerian Jihad was Terminator, but they took prisoners for slavery.
Yeah, it's I wonder if that just would have been a better subject for a movie. But it's so different than what Dune is.
Yeah.
10,000 years plus before Paul Atreides. Could people even relate to it? I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud, and the way it's shown is very Terminator. It feels like Terminator. It just feels like the scenes in Terminator where the humans fight the machines. It's a very short scene, but
it just feels so. I mean, again, I've only seen the movies, and it just feels this idea of a Terminator prequel just seems out of place to me. Like I can't picture it within the story that I've seen already. Pyrene Dream, the power of one, the power of two, the power of Benny.
I can't believe you got that perfect. That was great. You got the joke. Yeah, I think because we have also seen so many witch related shows. How did this all happen where there are so many at one time? You've got Agatha, Acolyte. These are things. You've got the Marvel universe doing witches.
Yeah.
You've got, witches in Star Wars. Not just in the Acolyte too. I mean, they were in Ahsoka. So how is it that this becomes an idea that permeates?
I mean, it's weird. It's weird, the timing of it. And yet at the same time, it doesn't feel like it's coincidental.
Does this make you want to see it, Alan?
No, I don't want to see this. Maybe at your advice, I'll watch the first half hour. But I'm not. I mean, I'm barely grasping on to the world of Dune as it is, and I feel like this will just make things more confusing. From Phantom Monk, Dune is spice and worms.
That is true.
Yeah, but even then, like the spice, I don't think the movies have explained the spice as well as the others have. The
movie did not explain the spice as well as the weird thing is, because I've read the books, it doesn't bother me that the movies gloss over things because I know what's going on. But for people, and then maybe the David Lynch movie kind of helped Denise.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely got it more with the David Lynch movies. I understood exactly what the spice was, even the miniseries. In this one, the spice just feels very unimportant in the Villeneuve movies.
But it's important. Here we go. One last comment. We're going to get to.
All right. Matthew Hammond for 2. Alan, look into fonts and browser add-ins for dyslexia. In fact, I was reading that article with the dyslexic font, the dyslexia font.
Great.
It's still not easy. Yeah.
We have a special guest today. He is the producer and lead actor in a movie called The Performance. If you have not seen this film, this independent film will blow your mind about a tap dancer that has to make a moral choice. It's very difficult. Please welcome to the show, Jeremy Piven.
I don't have a better background.
Hey, what are you doing?
Yeah, we hear you.
Perfect. What are you in your car?
I am I'm in a Tesla because I was like, I couldn't sleep last night. I was like, man, Elon Musk is broke. I need to make him a few bucks. So yeah, I'm in a Tesla.
I know. I heard he's taking a government job.
Indeed.
Hey, this movie, I saw it screening recently and met you there. Blew my mind on the film. Tell our audience about the performance and how you came across the material.
It's funny. I'm on my way right now to see my mother, and she gave me the short story, The Performance by Arthur Miller, out of the New Yorker. She said, "There's something in here for you." My mom has been my acting teacher since I was 8 years old. And when she's not very frivolous with her actions. She's very direct and it has a lot of weight. And so I took it seriously. And she was right, man. This is the role of a lifetime. And my sister adapted. She said, "Can I adapt it?" Of course. And she directed it and I produced it, starred, and it only took me 15 years to make. So it was, like my career was an overnight success. And I play a tap dancer and I didn't know how to tap. And so every year that people turned us down for the money, I got better at tap.
I got to say, that opening scene where you're doing those stretches.
Yeah.
Can you still do that? I mean, it's insane. I mean, like it was incredible what you were doing in the opening. You see your characters kind of getting ready to tap, and the dance, I mean, phenomenal. It's a very physical performance.
It is a very physical performance. And yeah, that was, I filmed it a year and a half ago. So I haven't deteriorated at the speed of light. So I can still put my foot, above my head. And the tapping was me. I studied with our choreographer, Jared Grimes, and it took me a long time. And the more no's we got, the better I got at tap. And, hopefully that'll inspire people to not give up.
And the story seems, it seems really timely. I was surprised. Yeah. I mean, also what was really surprising was I assumed it was a true story because there was an authenticity to your character and whatnot. And just the times, it was very authentic. I mean, a period film too, set in the 30s. So
yeah, 1937, just before the Holocaust, and Harold May, my character, is a tap dancer, and not very successful to this day. You don't make a lot of money being a tap dancer, no matter how good you are. And he was really struggling, and he gets the offer of a lifetime, and he hides his identity in Berlin. And I can't tell you too much, but I don't want to give away everything, but the performances in it, Robert Carlyle, I can't think of anyone who would have played that role better. He was so genius and haunting and terrifying and seductive and charismatic and all these things, man. He just crushed it. And yeah, man, it's definitely the best work of my life.
Well, we've got over 2,000 people watching live right now. They have a lot of questions in the chat. I want to, is the film, is it in theaters now, or is it like coming to VOD? How can people see it? Just to make
it'll be in a limited release in LA, New York, and Chicago on December 27th, and then we'll open wide in the new year. And I will get all the information. If you go to any Jeremy Piven might go to my Twitter or my Instagram account with the little blue check. I will give you all the information about that you need. And I'll be doing Q&As at the theater with my sister, and it'll be fun.
Great. And we have a lot of questions from our chat here with people watching. I would be remiss if I did not mention your character, Ari Gold, in Entourage is so iconic. I mean, so beloved. Probably one of my favorite assholes on television. I mean, you were just so, and the fact that I always love when there was an Ari centered episode. It was always fun. Can you tell us a little bit about that and maybe yell at me in character? I would love that. I think our audience would love it. I just think you must get that all the time. But that character is amazing. How you made Ari Gold into such a reality. I feel like I knew agents like that.
Yeah, I mean, listen. It's based on Ari Emanuel. That was the inspiration. He still is Mark Wahlberg's agent, and such a brilliant businessman and prolific agent. All these characters really exist. There was a drama, Turtle E, and we tried to get the world right and specific, and it was an honor to play this character. And I'm a stage actor from Chicago, and I've been on stage since I was 8 years old and studied all over the world, and no one cares. No one cares. No, I when I do stand up, I unpack all of this, and I have a lot of fun with it. And every word was written, and it was our job to make it feel improvisational. And they said, what was your trick? And my trick was Joyce Piven, who I'm on my way to see right now, my mom. We would do lines together. I mean, sorry, we would run lines. So, hey, wait a minute. Don't do lines with your mom. Right. Do not do lines with your mom. By the way, on stage, I will unpack what that would actually look like. No, Joyce Piven, everything I said is Ari Gold. I've said to her face. And, she's a total pro, and she never flinched. And we would run it like a play. And I would run it until I felt I owned it. And then I would go and hit set, and I would feel present and loose and playful. And I, the work that I would do at the Piven Theater was, no matter what role you're playing, no matter what bit of literature, whether it's Chekhov or David Mamet, you have to be present and in a state of play, which I was for Ari Gold. So if people think that I am Ari Gold or that the character was very authentic, that's beyond my control.
And in today's current climate, I mean, Entourage, I love the show. I watched every season, never missed it. I wonder, could you even make Entourage today?
It's funny. I think, and look, I don't know what I'm talking about, but people want to laugh now more than ever. And every one of my stand-up shows, they're sold out, and people just need and want to laugh right now. Yeah. Life is very, very confusing. And, one of the most watched pieces of content on Netflix was the roast of Tom Brady, which was very, confronting and funny and acerbic and offensive to some people, and edgy. And, that was one of the most watched pieces out there. So I think that a show like this, people would really want to see and gravitate towards. And Ari navigating this culture and this climate, I think would be really fun to watch him walk on eggshells. Having Ari navigate pronouns with Lloyd as his politically correct consultant would be hysterical.
Yeah. Oh my God. Please make that happen. Let's go to some of the comments that we have here. The chat's on fire here. Solomon Thornton says, greetings, Sir Jeremy. Liked you in Entourage. Any advice for beginning filmmakers?
Sorry. Well, don't use a shaky camera like this, although it looks very on. authentic. Beginning filmmakers. Uh, I would say the same as beginning actors, which is, you know, engage in any experience that comes your way. Just begin the process. You know, start filming on your camera, go to sets, observe people, get in the mix, learn. Nothing is beneath you, and just get out there and do it. And also study, take an acting class, so you can know what it's like from an actor's point of view. If you want to be a filmmaker.
Professor Fear asks, is tap dancing a good workout? I mean, I'll say, having seen the movie, I could not do any of that stuff. The stretches alone, crazy.
Yeah, it is. It is a great work. It's incredible, especially because in 1937, we were doing numbers that were very authentic to that time, and a lot of movement, and I'm not used to doing choreography. So that was one of the most kind of humiliating things for me at first. My entire troupe, all these brilliant actors in the UK, you know, it's a requirement at drama school to take dance and tap. And with us, you know, I started studying at 8, ended up going to NYU and studying at the National Theatre of Great Britain in London and blah blah. So I've studied my whole life, but it was never mandatory to study dance. So I didn't have a reference for choreography, and it was really challenging. But man, it was worth it. Totally worth it.
Aid Ellis 24 asks, what lessons from growing up in Chicago have the most direct impact on your methods as an actor?
Well, we were very lucky because the audiences would show up. So I think the reason why people are like, wow, actors from Chicago, why, you know, they're really making a mark for themselves. And I think the variable is that people show up for us, and we're performing in 99 seat houses, and they show up, and we had audiences. So we got the reps in, and my parents were great teachers to me at the Piven Theater, and they always kind of like instilled into us that we are enough. Whatever we bring, don't doubt yourself. You're enough. Whatever you're bringing, don't beat yourself up and stay after it. So those kind of things have always stayed with me.
And Razorburn asks, Jeremy, what was it like to work with John Cusack in Grosse Pointe Blank?
Grosse Pointe Blank was a beautiful example of a dark comedy, so brilliantly pulled off by all those guys. You know, I've known John since I was 8 years old. We started at the Piven Theater together, on stage together. We both started butchering Chekhov at a very early age. And yeah, he's a brilliant film actor that there's a lot to be learned from him. Just, you know, he added so much integrity to all of his roles. He really taught me that acting is a momentum sport, and to find your rhythm and your groove and your momentum. Yeah, we worked really well together. We bounced off each other. Because we also were in shorthand, we'd been performing together since we were kids. So everything counts. You know, when we're improvising and we're in a scene, we were always very present for each other, and we could hit a rhythm that elevated, or just, you know, could go anywhere. And we also learned growing up from our parents that there was no difference between drama and comedy. They could exist in any scene at any given moment.
Here's a question from Patrick Lemire following up on that. Are the rumors of a Grosse Pointe Blank sequel merited? I mean, they're rebooting so many things, it wouldn't surprise me.
Wouldn't that be amazing? Oh my God. Get the band back together,
Yeah.
You know, at a high school reunion with Martin Blank. That would be incredible. You know, we're all still around and thriving, and there's much to be explored about this current climate and how Martin Blank and his crew would be thriving and navigating through all this.
And a comment here from Sons and Shadows. Special shout out to Jeremy for having a range. I first found Jeremy Piven on the TV show Cupid. Class act. His early work is tremendous.
Oh,
there you go.
Thank you. Wow. Okay. Film threat. I need to. I need to. You know, they say go where you're loved, not where you're tolerated. So I'm coming to you guys.
Okay, good. And then all twisted up. Can't wait for this. Piven's acting chops are top notch. Mr. Selfridge alone is proof of that. So
Thank you.
More compliments.
Yeah, that's a PBS show. So he's one of 11 people that watched. So shout out to PBS.
There you go. And $8.24. Have you seen a story like the performance resonate more with people after the events of the past year? How has that affected the release of the project? I mean, what are your thoughts?
That's a great question. And, you know, we're living in times where, you know, we see the news and we hear about Jews being beaten for, you know, being at a soccer game in Amsterdam. And very confusing times right now. And the thing about this movie is this is how I contribute to the conversation, because I could sit here on an interview with you guys or tweet out something or but nothing will be more impactful than me contributing as an actor. When you see this film, and you can weigh in on this, you know, this will cause a lot of interesting conversations about these times, even though it took place just before the Holocaust. It's more relevant than ever. So this is how I contribute to this conversation. Unfortunately, this film couldn't be more relevant. And I can't wait to get this film out and start having conversations with you guys.
Yeah. Well, I found your Instagram here. Obviously, it's Jeremy Piven. So go to that to get info about your stand-up dates, where you're going to be doing that, screenings of the movies, and you've got all your positive press. Jeremy, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. It's been an absolute pleasure, and thank you for all you do. You're a class act and an independent. I mean, this movie was an independent film that took you 15 years. I mean, it's incredible, that kind of dedication.
Well, thank you. You know, if I gave up on this, I'd be giving up on myself. So don't ever do that. I would just say that to anyone. Yeah, you got to keep going. And, you know, once, you know, you saw the film and once people see it, they get it. It's just breaking through all the gatekeepers to get it out there. That's the trick. And if you have that vision and you know that you can't be stopped, you'll stay with it. And if you want to see me unpack all of this with the gloves off, come to the Laugh Factory Covina, which is about 15 minutes outside downtown LA, the weekend of the 22nd coming up. I'll meet you out there, intimate little room, and it'd be an honor to make you guys laugh.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Say hi to Joyce.
I will. Awesome. She's going to be mad that you made me late.
Oh, no. All right. Well, take care and don't do lines with her. Run lines.
Don't, you know, wow. I'm going to, I want to finish that bit. I'll do it on stage. I'll see you guys in a couple weeks.
All right. Take care, Jeremy. Thank you so much. Later, man. Wow.
That's awesome.
We get the big interviews here at Film Threat. So, oh shoot, did we miss one? Jay for 5. Big fan here from Naperville. I'll be seeing your new film. Sorry I missed that, Jay. I'm sorry about that.
We actually interviewed.
I'm gonna blame Alan. Yeah. I'm gonna blame Alan who wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, we actually interviewed Jeremy and the filmmakers last year just about the performance. and it happened maybe 2 weeks after the events in November, and it was pretty somber then. But I was worried that the film might get buried because of all that, but I'm glad it's finally out.
Well, we're gonna leave it there. I want to say thank you to Atomic Lori. Thank you to Alan for reading.
You're welcome.
Thank you to the chat, everyone, and everyone who sent in a super chat. We will be back Friday with our normal Friday Film Threat live cast. We're going to review Red One. Oh, wait, here we go.
Red French Moon for 2. Once again, Film Threat, awesome interview.
Yes, thank you. And thank you to Atomic Lori and Glenuccio and Armad Lord Thoth. Thank you to you all. We'll talk more. I'm really sorry. I feel like a downer with the Dune prophecy.
It's not your fault. It's Brian Herbert's fault.
It's not like Acolyte bad. It doesn't break Dune lore. You know, it's consistent with the Denny universe that he built up for Dune. It's just kind of boring. Mm-hmm. And it's a costume drama and in between shots of spaceships and sci-fi porn imagery. That's it. So we'll talk more on. I'm excited for other people to see it. I don't like Nerd Cookies. I want to hear what she thinks. Mm. She's a bigger Dune fan than I, so we'll find out on Monday. But thank you for sticking with us. I just appreciate all of you. I appreciate each and every one of you. Alan, what do you got? Anything happening?
Not from now to Friday.
We've got a treat. We have a treat. You want to share that video?
Oh, you want to do that? It's 6
Let's
minutes.
do it. We got time. Hey,
okay.
Alan and I were very fortunate to attend the Critics' Choice Association, AAPI Comet Award, and Ronny Chieng was there. Did I say it right?
Yes.
Ronny Chieng was there. He accepted the comedy award. I have seen his stand-up special. It's amazing. And Alan was in the room and shot a video of Ronny accepting the award. Can you play it? You play the file? Okay. Because I didn't get to see this. I showed up late.
Okay. I should mention that one of the nominees prior to him accepting his award shouted out to his very hot wife. And so there'll be a comment about that in here. Just
all right. Let's watch this.
All right.
And it will be posted for members only. We do a lot of videos for members only, but I can't wait to see, because I wasn't there. I want to see this.
Okay. And it runs about 6 minutes. So just warning you ahead of time. Here we go.
Thanks for hanging out. Oh my God, how am I supposed to follow all that sincerity? I thought I'd be going out first, so I prepared a much harsher speech, and it's probably appropriate right now. Thanks so much for this award. I can't find the past winners on the website, so I think they created this just so I would show up. It worked, because here I am. I guess Ali Wong was busy this year. Also, thank you for not giving this to Hassan Minaj again. As an actual immigrant who overcame real adversity, I definitely deserve this more than him. It's nice to get this AAPI award before Trump hits this whole show with a massive tariff. So, thank you to the Critics' Choice Association for making an AAPI night to honor us instead of at the main event. This is great to get this. It's great to see everybody. It's also great that we had Shogun, we had Beef, we had Squid Game, and Samantha won a Pop cons in France. I won an Emmy like 6 weeks ago, so this is great, but I'm also glad that we're winning the White People Awards as well. That said, critics, please don't take this away from me. It's a great honor, and I wouldn't trade it for anything, less than a 2-episode arc on Blue Bloods. So, thank you to the critics. Critics, what would we do without you, other than be happier? I do respect critics. You guys are like comment section trolls went pro. Critics, thank you for our young kids everywhere to shit on everything. As Asians, it's a smart move to get critics on our side. Okay, we stopped Asian hate, and now we're stopping Asian haters. We really figured it out with this event. So critics pat us on the back. In return, we, the talent, let you pat us on the back. Then we post this on Deadline. Then Deadline gets clicks, makes some money. It's win-win-win. I mean, how is anyone losing money in Hollywood? As an industry veteran, I do think that the wins in show business are very few and far between. So I'm gonna count this as a win. I want to give a big thank you to my lovely wife who is here, Hannah. She's here with me tonight. I couldn't do anything without her. We work together. She's executive producer on everything I do and my inspiration. She is also very hot, beautiful, and smart, and amazing, and much prettier than Chris's wife. Also seriously, she's beautiful. She's gorgeous. Never seen a woman more beautiful than her. Her skin lights up the night sky. Her beauty is rivaled by nothing else on the planet. The stars above do not hold a candle to her gorgeous face and curves. I love having sex with her.
Oh my God!
And if I can have it tonight as well. This is a very inappropriate pivot right now, but I also want to thank my publicist. Thank you. Sorry if the CCA never asked me to do anything again. How will we ever survive? I think my agent Max Burgos, he picked me up before I even moved to America. He's always been honest with me and done well. My manager, Joel Zadak, thanks for also believing in me. Thanks to the CCA for, hey, giving Asians a rally point. Like this award to me, it's cool, but what I really appreciate is this rally point, right? We get to hang out a bit. I get to meet a lot of my heroes, Joan Chen, Sam, Sue, Dolly, Kakoa, Julia, Ken. Hey man, nice to meet you. I'm a big fan of yours. I tried to get you my pilot and you turned me down. But I get it. You're truly great. I understand. No, seriously, no hard feelings. I'm a huge fan of that. I get it. The pilot didn't go anyway, so you made the right choice of industry. Gosh, nice to meet you, man. Super cool. Can't believe the Indian guy who can rap. It's great. Also get to meet Jimmy, all of you guys outside of Asians for Kamala Zoom call. All of you people I truly admire, and also Jimmy O Yang. And everyone else who came out tonight to celebrate. Thanks a lot. It's cool. It's good to have hang out with other people who all kind of get the struggles and all that. And please give Interior Chinatown, which I'm also in, but was not mentioned for some reason. Sorry for having 3 ongoing projects. It's just too much to handle for AAPI night. How can one man take so much work away from you? I guess critics give Interior Chinatown and my Netflix special a good review. Otherwise, a racist. I guess it's nice. You guys are great. Thanks for hanging out. See you guys.
That was awesome.
That was great.
That was great.
I mean, the thing is, he just pointing out what everyone's thinking, and that's what's great about comedy is you could do that, get a laugh, and even make a point. Love it.
Love it. All right, that wraps it up for us today. We'll be back on Friday. We've got a lot going on. We got a lot going on.
Are you seeing Gladiator by Friday?
I'm seeing Gladiator Saturday.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
All right. Take care, everyone. Alan, what do you have to say? What it's just
let's get out of here.
Yeah.